Hello, hello, Mouse Hunt. Welcome to Feedback Friday. It is November 9, 2018. Yes, it's still 2018. The year is flying by, but it's still 2018 for the time being. I just came across a picture, actually. I sent Giorgio, I think, and he sent me a picture on New Year's Eve of, I guess, what it was last year now. And I thought, wow, it's already another New Year's Eve is almost upon us as we're working on the Great Winter Hunt. Hello, everyone in the chat. Looks like we have quite a few people joining us today. Hello, hello. Hovan, Tarako, Brian, Nico, Stejan, April, Michelle, Sally, Ryan, Wei, Julian. Hello, hello. Well, good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're watching in the world from. Today, not too many new things to share, but we're going to kind of keep talking about the Great Winter Hunt, and by all means, we want as much feedback, suggestions, comments as we can get to help us pull the whole thing together for next month and help shape the release. So now the entire team basically is focused on the Great Winter Hunt. As I mentioned, I think in the previous couple of Feedback Fridays, the magical snow golems are going to make a return. However, we're going to mix up the theme a little bit. Instead of tunneling into the comet, using those explosive festive crackers, you're going to be blowing up increasingly large icebergs that are en route to Narnia to smash into the otherwise peaceful shoreline. So you'll be saving Narnia in a slightly different way, but still putting those explosive festive crackers to use. And Grant says, can't wait for the Great Winter Hunt with a big heart. That's good. Definitely the golems were very popular. That's why we kind of chose to revisit them again, just switch up the theme a little bit, but certainly previous Feedback Fridays had a lot of great feedback about the golems. Looks like everyone's welcoming them back with open arms. Mary says, congratulations to everyone on our raging success on Halloween. Actually, that's a good note too as well. I wanted to do a quick announcement. I meant to right at the top here. But when it comes to the Halloween event, the various shops around the kingdom that have the Halloween event rewards, they're going to be removed next week. So if you do not have the Erie base or the Erie base, or if you're looking to pick up some spooky shuffle dust, make sure you do that before next Tuesday. That's when we'll be kind of shutting that down. All the rewards will be removed. Now you'll still be able to play the spooky shuffle until for the remainder of the month. However, you will not be able to purchase any spooky shuffle tickets or spooky shuffle dust. So if you have an abundance of tickets, you may want to visit, say, the Town of Narnia General Store. You can exchange 50 Spooky Shuffle tickets for 1 Spooky Shuffle dust, and that increases all the rewards by 10, and you're basically playing 10 boards simultaneously, if you want to think of it in that way, when you put those 50 tickets to use. Or you can also support the game. You can buy them with cash from the donate section as well, and those will remain up until next Tuesday as well. Cookie says, morning, it's 12 a.m. here. Well, thanks for staying up or getting up early. Either one. Ooh, golden pecan pecorino. I think that is the same pecan pecorino as last year. It's a nice little snowman type cheese there. Julian says, sweet. Cecilia says, lol. Brian says, press X to doubt. When in doubt TNT. I don't know if I'm following what's going on in the chat here. Will someone, Giorgio, fix the listing of weapons? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Is it the suggested perhaps the suggested list on the camp page? It was being a little bit wonky during Halloween. When Halloween is removed, that should sort of resolve that. It's kind of on our to-do list to overhaul how different bases and traps are suggested. Ryan loves the magical hat. Lets you collect more festive ultimate lucky power charms. Ray asks, can we clear out theme scraps for crafting themes that are already built? Yeah, that's kind of something on our mind as well. Not the hugest priority, but there are kind of some items that build up in the inventory over time. Is it possible to reduce the return time for golems? Indirectly, yes. You can use the festive summoning bells. Which I believe last year you could pick them up using animated snow, if I recall correctly. So if you get an absolute abundance of golem parts, you can exchange some of your parts for bells, bring back some of your golems early so you can send them back out again. But it's a bit of a balancing act how you want to manage those resources. Oh, and in the keen eye of Stesian, notice that there is a golden one in the HUD. That's where you're seeing the golden pecan pecorino. I think we're going to call that glazed pecan pecorino. And other great winter hunt news as well, the advent calendar is on its way. We're just kind of wrapping up some work, and actually in behind some of these HUD concepts that you can see, if I can point correctly, no, there we go. I can see that's the blurred out new advent calendar image. So that's going to be coming on December 1st. Actually, we're going to add it to the game a little bit before December 1st, so it's there at midnight. And as always, you'll be able to open up a new door on each day from the calendar to receive an Advent chocolate. And the Advent chocolates are going to be exchanged for rewards during the Great Winter Hunt. And as in years past, opening the door on the same day which it unlocks will reward a bonus item. So you want to make sure you check back as often as you can. This year we've overhauled the rewards. We usually switch them up a little bit, but they seem even more rewarding, I think, than they were last year. So there's a few special items hidden on the Advent calendar that you'll want to come back and check up on. Ranger's suggestion to have golems return at different times. You could have one golem come back in 20 hunts, and the loot may not be as good. That's an interesting suggestion as well. We were playing around with sort of ways to augment your gameplay. You could kind of choose from various power-ups, and one of them could be a chance to have golems return a little sooner. Now, if you get fewer rewards, it'll have to be, you'd have to play around to make that an interesting decision, because I guess if you had very few parts, you could send out your golems on some epic 60 hunt journey, and if they came back with more loot, then you need fewer golem parts to achieve the same amount of loot. So there's some balance to work out, where perhaps the quicker they come back, the more loot you get, if that makes sense, on some sort of graded curve. But basically it's a way, when you send your golems out and you hunt, you're converting golem parts into loot. And so there's a bit of balance there to know, okay, well, how many golem parts do you get per loot? And if your golems were able to stay out longer than 30 hunts, you get more loot per golem part, would be sort of the metric that the reward would be based on. So it might not work out too well. It might be hard to understand. Will breeds be easier to catch for map, or will every stockpile have a large diversity of mice? I'll use that word instead of the word you chose there. Actually, that's one of the biggest changes here about the Great Winter Hunt this year, and we'll kind of